if you're a knife guy, you know what you're looking for in certain blades. When you see a knife and say to yourself, oh man, I gotta have that, it's usually a pretty sweet blade for you. Usually your instincts are gonna steer you right. And that's exactly what happened when I saw this knife in Spyderco's lineup. The Spyderco Stretch. Now, this knife started out as Sal Glesser's design for his own personal use. He wanted a high-performance blade steel and sized it so it wouldn't scare knife people. You know, there's nothing worse than when you pull a knife out of your pocket and you spend a lot of money and it's giant and huge and it just scares the person next to you. They look at you like, whoa, what's wrong with this guy? And, you know, sometimes you want that if you're using it for self-defense, but this knife for me is more of an EDC blade. I'm using it for opening up boxes, you know, opening up packages, letters, cutting rope, all that kind of stuff. Just a knife that I have with me at all times that I can use for various tasks. Can it be pressed into like a tactical use? I think so. It's got a pretty decent sized blade on it, but you know, for the most part, I'm using this for everyday EDC tasks. So let's get into the specs of this knife. The overall length on it is 9.94 inches. The blade length is 3.5 inches with a cutting edge of 3.19 inches. Now, normally that would kind of irk me a little bit because, you know, advertised blade length should have the same cutting length. But with this knife especially, I don't mind it so much because you get this awesome finger troil right there. And, you know, along with the thumb ramp, this knife really locks in for some detail work with things, you know, that you might have to do. You know, I like that I can take the knife and, you know, maybe cut backwards with it while holding that and not worrying about my thumb slipping because of that awesome jimping. You know, it really works. Some jimping sucks and your thumb will definitely slip off of it and you will cut yourself. But this one has some pretty good jimping. Spyderco usually does it right. The blade steel on this is VG10. It is probably my favorite blade steel, and Spyderco does a lot of VG10 in their lineup. Pretty much most of their knives are VG10. They do some things that are a little lower, some things that are a little higher. Actually, this knife you can get in ZDP 189. Now, that's a very good high-end steel, very expensive. Probably going to pay up to, you know, 20 bucks more for this knife in ZDP 189. It holds a finer edge. It's going to be sharper, but it's not as easy to sharpen, and it probably doesn't have the rust resistance that the VG10 does. That's due to a higher carbon content. But, you know, this knife, if you get it wet, it's not going to rust on you. You're not going to get little spots on your blade. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine. You know, you take care of your knives, you put some Rem oil on there, and it, you know, it usually doesn't rust. But, you know, what if you're out camping and it gets wet? Kind of out of luck. So anyway, a little more on this. The hole diameter on this is 9/16 inch, which I like because it is not too big, not too small. Kind of perfect for my largest size hands. You know, for deployment, easy to close. You're not going to cut yourself because of that troil as well. It's going to stop it before those blades hit your fingers. So you can close this knife with one hand. Also, opening, super fast. Love it. Another alternate way of opening this knife is, even though it has very good blade retention and the knife's not going to shake out of there, you know, I'm really hitting that and that blade isn't moving, you can flip up, hold this deployment hole, and, you know, slap the knife down, and then there you go. You know, it's another quick way to get your blade out. And that's just a cool thing. You know, nobody has to open their knives really fast unless they're defending themselves. It has an FRN handle, fiberglass reinforced nylon. I really like it. It's, you know, never had any strength issues with it. This does have, I don't know if you can see this, it does have steel liners, but they're milled out, and that does help greatly with the weight. By the way, this knife only weighs 3.4 ounces. That basically means you don't feel this in your pocket when you're carrying it around. It's there when you need it, but it's not annoying, you know, swinging in your pocket, not be able to get your hand in your pocket because you've got this giant knife there. It does have a closed length of 4.4 inches, So you know it's not super huge in pocket. I really love the blade shape and the work that Spyderco does finishing their blades is great. The fit and finish on this knife is amazing. You know, you get that little Spyderco spider thing there. It's kind of cool. Also, that mark right there means that Sal Glesser designed this knife. And I don't know if you can see it really well with the camera I have. Sorry, guys. Pocket clip on this is awesome. You can put it on all four corners of this knife. So if you're a lefty, that's great. If you like it tip down or tip up, you can do it either way. All four corners are milled out, so you can change that pocket clip to wherever you want. You know, it's showing a little bit of wear on that black clip. That's because I've been carrying this for a while. I don't really mind it. I kind of like them when my knives look, you know, used, because that means you're using them. It's not just a show knife, and you're not just showing it off to your buddies and petting it when no one's looking. Well, anyway. Can't say I haven't done that before. But anyway, so just to kind of give you an idea of the fit and finish on this, it kind of shows you the blade centering in this is perfect, which probably lends to the speed in which that comes out. Really love that. To show you kind of what kind of an edge you can get with VG10 steel, I'm going to do a little paper cutting here for you to kind of show you the edge you can have on this. Now, I strop my knives every day, and I'm probably going to do a video showing you guys how to strop your knives. It's something I do every day, kind of like, you know, at the end of the day, you kind of wipe your shoes off on the mat. You know, strop your knives. A dull knife is not worth anything to anybody. So, you know, I'll do a sharpening video and showing you guys how to strop your knives to keep an edge like that. You know, I mean, really, a dull knife will not do that. And I'll show you a little bit of fine cutting. Make some fine curls with that. Also a little bit of speed, you know. So it's not going to dull on you. This knife is super sharp. And it will hold that edge for a long time if you strop it every day. And basically stropping is bringing your edge, because when you're cutting, you know, your edge will either roll one way or the other, because, you know, you're putting downward force on that, and so it bends that fine angle that you have right there. And so stropping it will bring that true again, straight, which lends to a sharp knife. And I just want to say that I highly recommend this knife, and a good place you can find this, there's an awesome website for buying knives and other outdoor gear. Really cool website. And, you know, they're not paying me to say this, but I think it's a great website. BladeHQ.com. Check them out. You're not going to find knives at better prices than you can find at Blade HQ. And they will mail you your stuff, and they won't charge you anything over $100 for an order. This knife, for me at Blade HQ, I paid about $80 for it. You know, some people that might be high, but for a knife I use every day, that's kind of, I think it's a good deal. It's a good knife for that. If you're going to buy crap, you know, sometimes it won't last you as long, and you're going to spend more in the long run. I'll probably have this knife and carry it probably for the rest of my life. I love this knife, and I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching PracTactical. My name is Mike, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks.